I'm here. Hello, lovelies. How are you today? I am here for you to do another reading list. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, since winter. Yeah. And I don't know, I just haven't been super excited about anything in particular. I've just been catching up on comics, and I have a whole nice stack here to show you guys of some oldies and some new ones, things that I kind of want to reread just to get me a little bit more excited about reading. Okay, so let's jump into it. So you guys might have seen this one before. This is Star Wars Phasma by Delilah Dawson. I have been reading this on and off, and I feel like I need to rewatch like The Last Jedi, which I already did, but I need to rewatch The Last Jedi, Rogue, and all of those to get a little bit more excited to finish this one. I started it. It's really good. You get a really detailed insight right off the bat of where Phasma is from and her whole story. So I definitely recommend this one, but I will get to this. This seems like something I would want to read on the beach or something. I don't know. All right, next up. If it seems like I'm flying through this stuff, it's because I am. This is Batman's No Man's Land. I don't know if I put this in the last one. If I did, I'm sorry. My friend Daniel had lent this to me, and I still haven't given it back. I'm sorry. I will give it back soon. I'm so close to finishing it. It's such a good Batman story, and it takes us through a lot of characters and their points of view. Greg Rucka, you're amazing. I love pretty much everything that you do. So this is a great one to pick up. I know it's a little bit hard to find, but you could probably find this. On your e-reader, whichever you use, Nook, Kindle, iTunes. But yeah, this is a great one. So this is a really old one, but good one. And I was reminded of this book recently. I was looking for something new to read while I had a little bit of downtime. And this is a really old nostalgic book that I read when I was in high school, and I gave almost all my friends a copy of. This is Robert Cormier's The Chocolate War. Robert Cormier was one of my favorite authors when I was a teenager / young adult, and he still stands up. All of his work, it's very suspenseful, it's very thriller-like, and The Chocolate War is one of the best books that he's written, or at least one of the most renowned books that he's written, other than I Am the Cheese and a few others. But The Chocolate War is basically about this group of boys in this private school, and they have to sell these chocolates, and there's a gang, and the gang tells this one guy, gives him an assignment, don't sell the chocolates. And just chaos ensues. There is a sequel to this called Beyond the Chocolate War, which is, I would say it's even better than the first in different ways. But this is a coming of age story, suspense, kind of cultish read. But if you're a little bit younger, if you're a little bit older, and you want a quick read, this is definitely it. This next one is Stephen King's On Writing. This one's a pretty popular one. Everyone I know who's a writer has read it for the most part. It's something that really excites me to start writing again, and I have a lot of writing projects that I'm working on. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming, but if I pick this one up and I just, read through a chapter, or even just the part that's about his life, his autobiography part, his memoir part, is really inspiring. It's just kind of how this man was literally rags to riches. And it's just, yeah, there's no other words. Next up, this one, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. This is Anthony Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential, and I've had this book for a really long time, and I have not read it, and I'm really sad to say that I haven't read it. And only now in his passing have I been I should really read this book. So this one, it's going to be a little bit hard to get through because Anthony Bourdain has, as you know, Lisa and I have talked about this before, of how much he's really touched our lives and the world's lives. He was just a very open, honest man for what we know, and he was, I don't know, he was just kind of connecting the world through food, and I don't know. It makes me really sad to think that he's gone. Miss Bourdain, I'm going to read this finally. Still very sad and shocked by your passing, but you touched the world and you're going to continue to do so. Alright, so next up I have a big one, book 2 of Saga. And I showed you guys this already around Christmas time, and I still haven't gotten to read it. I had so much other stuff that I was trying to get through, but this is one that I really just want to savor, because I kind of like went through the first few volumes like water, and it's amazing. Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, they created like such an epic story, and if it's were ever to come to screen, to life, I don't know if it would do it justice. This is one of those things that I feel is untouchable to a degree. I mean, I used to think that about Harry Potter, but they did such a great job with the films. But I don't know, I love this so much. Next was a gift from my friend Gus. This is Jessica Jones, The Pulse. If you like Jessica Jones, if you like Luke Cage, this is definitely one to read through and pick up. I know she has a lot of series that came out recently. This is a bit of an older story of Jessica's, but it basically takes place when she's with Luke Cage, and it's a very like relationship-driven story between the two, and it was just great. It's phenomenal. I'm gonna read this again because, you know, it's one of those times of years when I just want to be inspired by what I read and get excited about reading and get excited about writing and all of that. And this is definitely one of those books that does it for me. So last on my reading list is, again, a book that I've had for a while and I've been leafing through, and it's called Refuse to Choose. All right, as you guys know, I have a lot of varying interests and I get a little sidetracked with some of them. And this book basically teaches you that it's okay to be a person who has a ton of different interests and is good at a lot of stuff, but maybe not a genius at one particular thing. And it basically goes on about this personality type called a scanner. And this is someone who kind of like gleans from a lot of different areas in life and is more like a jack of all trades. And that's kind of how I see myself a bit. So this kind of basically teaches you how to, not so deal with it, but how to really make the most of it and all your varying interests and how to choose particular interests over others. And it really helped me for a while, and I never really got through all of the steps of it and how to make it a lifestyle choice. But I definitely want to get back to this now that I have a lot more structure in my life, and I can actually like plan things out to be able to work on watercoloring, work on writing, work on all these other things that I want to get to. So that's my end of summer reading list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope maybe you pick up one of these reads or it inspires you to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to read that book that's been sitting on my shelf for months, years, decades. I'm not guilty of that. All right, lovelies, let's start a fire figuratively and let me know what you've been reading. Comment down below. And yeah, bye.